The Horadric cube is back in Diablo 4 with lot of hatred, and if you open it for the first time, there is a good chance your first reaction is, okay, what exactly am I supposed to do with this? Or, wow, this looks complicated. And if you then use it randomly, you can waste a lot of valuable resources very quickly. So in this video I will explain the Horadric cube by going through its main mechanics, by explaining what it is actually used for, what you should focus on first, and the biggest mistakes you should avoid when playing around with the cube. With that said, let's go into the game together. So hi guys, I want to go together with you through all the most important options of the Horadric cube. The most used one will be around here in the gear modification. Then you have something also valuable here in the item transmutations, of course. Starting with the most important one, which is the most interesting one also with the gear modifications. We see here we have the add affix. What this does is it adds a random affix to an item. This is the most important one. I will show you why. For example, this gloves, right? I want to go through this with you on the gloves here. It is ancestral gloves. Make sure in the end game, if you have a lot of good items already, that you use ancestral ones. It can also be ancestral blues or yellows, or like this completely white one, which just drops randomly. So you see it narrows down already. It blacks out everything else that we can't use. And here we can use the add affix. We could also upgrade this to a unique, right? To a unique hand. For example, we can gamble for a Fists of Fate or something like that. But we don't want to use it now. Also, be careful a bit because this primordial dust is also kind of expensive. So we can click clear, then he takes it out. Otherwise, what we want to do, this is important for the end game, you want to add affixes. So let's just do it randomly. It will bind to your account, of course. But we now got magic ones. Wow, with all damage multiplier, 20%, which is not bad for gloves, right? And what we can do now, you see, we can remove that affix if we don't like it too much. Theoretically, we can bring it back to its base, right? We can do a focused reroll. So from the same category then, we get also another reroll on this affix. This can be also handy if you like the category, but you don't like the specific affix. You can focus reroll it basically. Chaotic reroll is this just changes the random affix to one of another category. This is like completely random. I think I never used it. You want to, of course, reroll focus, right? Maybe remove the affix if you don't like it. Or what we do mostly, or what I do then mostly, is I add another affix, of course. We want to get 4 affixes on top of it. So let's click transmute. I do this just for showcase purposes here. We see, okay, cooldown reduction, a little bit low roll. I don't care too much about this. Right now we have a lot of cooldown reduction already. But you could also get something with a damage multiplier or something on top of it. Let's add another affix so that you can see it already automatically upgrades then to a rare item. We got maximum life. Maybe we don't want this on our gloves because we want full damage. Here I took a maximum life for survivability on my main ones. Cooldown reduction also, and 3 to core skills. This is also not optimal. Also the transfigured at the end I will show you later on. We will do that also. So let's just assume this is a perfect item. I will brick it anyways. So now we have 4 times added affixes, right? So we can't add an affix anymore. You see, it's blacked out now. It is perfect. So we have strength, max life, all damage multiplier, cooldown reduction. Okay, you say this fits perfectly into my build. This is an upgrade for me. I take this item. So what you want to do now is you want to upgrade it to legendary here. Right, this is an important step. You want to transmute it, and now it's a legendary where you can also put in, of course, your aspect. So now let's say we have this item as a perfect upgrade. Of course, the other steps are the same as always. Before you want to temper something in, right? Let's say offensive. We take critical strike damage, of course, and then we just temper it. I just want to show it to you right now. We got the 39. You can proc over this 50. Like, if it's a very good item, make sure to get a GA proc there. All temperings on the ancestrals can proc as a GA. So basically you can get even more than the 50 there. Right? Okay, let's assume we have it. It's perfect. Of course, what we do now, we masterwork it full with the proc into something that we want to have. Right? At the end, the last step, you know all this. Then of course, if it's an item with sockets, don't forget to add the sockets then there at the jeweler, right? And then what we want to do is, let's assume we have 3 perfect stats that we can take, and then we don't like the 4th stat. Let's say the cooldown reduction, we don't like too much. We can optimize it by re-rolling here. You see, bam, 49 crit strike damage multiplier, perfect. You see, and now we have like super strong ancestral that we just crafted out of a white item basically, right? Of course, don't forget also to put in the aspect power here that you want to have on the item. You know that for your build. And the very last step, the very last step, after you did your optimizing, right? Like full tempering, full aspects, this and that. You want to transfigure the item. You have 2 options here. I think it's the chaotic reroll, where you can reroll something randomly, or you can also define it by adding like one of those thingies here. Which one was it? For example, this one. This will target an offensive affix, for example, but I don't like it too much. Also, we are assuming we got a perfect item here, which we really like, which we perfected basically. And now what you want to do, the very last step, is the transfigure item, because this grants a random modification of great possibilities. You can use a tuning prism on this. So we can put in this guy here. Moment, is this working? I never tested it. No, it's just only this one. But I would not recommend this. Why? This tuning prism narrows the outcomes. But what it does, it also takes away the best outcomes that you can potentially get. Right? So it makes it safer, so you don't brick the item at the end. But you want to YOLO this anyways, right? You don't want to use this tuning prisms. Most likely. You see, I even use it here on my Ring of Starless Skies. And here on the helmet, I got all rest, for example. Here on the pants, it is very bad because this is this, you see, it is indestructible. And that is, of course, completely waste, right? The good thing is, if you remember from the last season of, or the second last season, I don't know anymore, from Vessel of Hatred expansion, there was this Sanctify system, right? Where you can use the sanctification on the items, on your items. And the good thing was, it can make a super cool roll there, or it can brick your item. And transfigure item is basically that. You see, let's click on transmute just for showcase purposes, what it gives us. Boom, 7 item quality. Okay, this is bad. It is, it is not like completely bricked or something, but it is not optimal. It can give you 15, which you then want on a strong item, right? In worst case. But best case, you see, it can give you all res on top of it. It can turn it can add another affix randomly. Right here we got, for example, maximum life. Here I think it turned a normal affix into a greater affix, right? That's why it's 3 affixes there. Here indestructible, it's wasted basically. Here also we got, I think, another GA. And here you see 4 item quality. This is complete bullshit. This will be replaced fast here. On the shield we got all res again. Cooldown reduction here. On the ring, here we got also maximum life, which may be bad. You can also get an offensive roll, of course, which would be maybe better, especially in the case when you wear the ring of Starless Skies. And here we got strength %, which is not too shabby for us, right? So the thing is, you want to use the transfigure system here at the very end, when you have a very strong item and when you want to, yeah, gamble a spot on the item basically. And you don't want to use a tuning prism. You see, it is optional because it takes away from the best outcomes that you have, you know. And you want to, in the end game, you want to YOLO it anyways, right, to get the best of the best. So that's all about this system. Yeah, I mean, at this point we can kill this item. It is not usable for me. I just made a showcase here. And what you can see, this system is cool because now also even the rare items that we get, or the magic ones, right? The rare ones, the magic ones here. Also ones which are maybe not optimal as legendaries, or even whites, we can check for stats, right? And if you see, oh wow, here's GA into strength. So I would take this one to roll it out, basically. Also, we see, oh wow, this has stats that I want to have. Strength, attack speed, GA, and vulnerable damage multiplier. So what we do with those items, we can add the affixes like I showcased you before, and then turn them to items that we want to have. And the funny thing is, you can also remove affixes. So for example, let's say we don't like the vulnerable damage multiplier here. We can remove that one, right? And then we can go on with adding the affixes step by step. So you can go back and forth until you have a perfect item, basically. And you can of course target then your weakest slots always and perfect the items basically. I didn't waste too much time on this until now, but it is worth it in the end game for min-maxing, right? So you see, for example, here we got the 3GA rare one. So what I would do here most likely is take out the healing received, because it also rolled low. Remove that one and then replace it with a better one. Or it's maybe not even needed. We can instantly take this item, upgrade it to a legendary, right? And then start our master working process and so on, and just go to the enchanter and take away this healing received if we want to. Here you can see, that's why you want to also, you don't want to mindlessly, you salvage of course most of the items, but the ancestral ones that you get, you want to double check basically, even if it's only a rare one or a magic one. That's why I stockpile them here, right? And even the, yeah, white ones. That's it with the gear modifications. So we saw all this. Here you can also on a unique, here you can roll out the implicit on a unique. What I forgot to mention, on the after the transfigure item, your items get unmodifiable. You see this? Okay, here it didn't proc, but there's a very high chance that you will get this. You see at the bottom, unmodifiable. 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 That means we can't do anything else anymore with this. Right? Here it also didn't proc. You see, we could rework this again. A little bit. We can again also even transfigure it. If you are lucky, you don't get this unmodifiable thingy. and then you can again roll something else. We have, for example, cooldown reduction. I have a lot of cooldown reduction already on my gear. You know what? So let's go again. Let's transfigure and hope he gives us something better. Oh. He says cannot transfigure this item? Okay, this is a bug, I guess. This must be a bug here. That's weird. Because he shows here transfigure item here, but does not say unmodifiable. Here it says unmodifiable and it does not show the transfigure item option here. Okay, this is a bug, I guess. Same as on the gloves, I think. Here you see, we can't click. What? He transfigured it. So we are now having too much cooldown reduction on all our items. Yeah, but that is the gamble that you take, basically. You know, I wish we would get more offensive stuff at this point on the items, right? So, unique power reroll, I want to show you very fast. Let's say, for example, this one I will not use, I guess. What? Minimize the value of the unique power of an ancestral unique. Ah, okay, it needs to be ancestral, sorry. I forgot. So let's... Okay, I got the triple GA Azure Rough there. I don't know if we ever use it, but okay. Here. When you use this, what it will do, you see the implicit down there. You gain 180% aura potency while standing in consecration. It will reroll that stat, basically. So you can really try to go... I mean, it is... I don't want to waste this mod now. This one is pretty rare. So that's why you don't want to waste it. But you can perfect your implicit like this. Right? So if you have a unique and you have perfect stats on it, but you are suffering from the implicit roll, like here for example, we are missing 10% still, then you want to use that feature. But be careful with it because the mods there are pretty expensive or rare, as you saw. So that is the gear modification. That's the all options you have there. Let's just go for the item transmutations. 3-to-1 transmutation. This is like this transmutes 3 of the same equipment, talisman or rune even, to a random new item of the type. So for example, this also works, for example, here even... No, this is amalgamation. Okay, this is something different. You could even use keys here. Let's say, for example, this. Oh no, this is all amalgamation. Sorry. Okay, what I used this for, basically, is 3-to-1 transmutation. You, for example, take 3 uniques, right? 3 of the same unique types. Let's say we have, for example... I don't have, because I did it on all my items already. I cleaned up everything basically. But let's say we have 3 lights Rebique, just as an example. 3 of them. What we can do is we put them all 3 in here and then we click 3-to-1 transmutation. It will also show up then. And then what it does, it combines it to one new one. Right? So when you have 3 uniques that you want to use, but the implicit rolled badly, you can give it a chance to combine it into a better one. Right? That's what I used it mostly for. You can also use it on some other type of items, but yeah, it's mostly for the uniques, I think. Oh no, sorry, that was recycle uniques. That was recycle uniques. Sorry. You can also upgrade stuff to uniques. That means we can, for example, take this white one. You can slap it in here and you see it instantly shows upgrade to unique. So I could get a unique ring out of this. I don't want to use it now randomly because, again, this mod is pretty expensive. So you want to be a little bit cautious there with the more expensive mods. But this is also great then for, yeah, target farming uniques basically. target gambling farming, so to speak. Recycle uniques, upgrade uniques. Okay, we have all this now. Upgrade to legendary, this one you want to use. Then on the rare ones at the end, right? When we perfected it, I showed it to you basically. Reroll set charms. Transmute a set charm to a different charm from the same set. Let's say for example I have this doubled here. We can use it on the Baru as an example. Here, I don't like this too much. I can say reroll set charm. So what it will do now, it will randomly choose one of the other options and roll this one into one of the other options. This is useful at the beginning when you have, for example, when you miss a slot, right, from the set, and then you want to get the missing slot and you have still laying around multiple of the other ones. So with this you can get to the full set pretty fast. Just here for showcasing. Okay, then we have craft unique charm. This one is also important. So as you see, we have here a temerity charm. It is from the unique, right? It didn't proc perfectly, but yeah, we can live with it for now. The good thing about this is it frees up a unique item slot, basically. You see, instead of the temerity, I use the normal pants for now. And I use this charm instead of it. So I get the temerity effect, but still can use the pants with, for example, yeah, this aspect down there. You see? And that's the good thing. At the end game, mostly on all builds, it will look like something like this. You want to have a set thingy here and then a unique charm into it. How you can get to this? These can drop randomly, like this here. I prepared some. We have now the three ones that are useful for us. Or you can say, you see, you can put them all three in. And he says already automatically craft unique charm. You can clear it out. You can also click craft unique charm. And then he shows you the mods already. And then he wants you to put in, let's say we want the unique charm of Light's Rebiki. This is an ancestral one. It does not need to be GA, but it needs to be an ancestral one. So with 900 item power level, then you can put this in. You put those three in. It is a kind of a bug or something. The game wants you to put in these three charms first. Then click it and then put in this legendary, which you want to have the aspect of. So when I click transmute now, which I don't want to do, we will get one of this back, but with the implicit of this item. Right? So you can also target farm then this last charm slot basically. Right? But be careful, the implicit will not be perfect necessarily. It is a random roll still. So to get it perfected, you might want to do it multiple times or target farm it or whatnot. But this is then, of course, the min-maxing at the end. Important one, which I want to show you now. Because, let's say, for instance... where are our keys, man? Here, we have this keys, the lesser attribute of harmony. We don't like it. Bam. It instantly... This is the only option we get, you see, is the amalgamation. If you have 3 or more items, or 5 I think in this case, let's see. You click transmute, yeah, it was 5 items. And now, I think we got the great attribute of armaments. You see a little upgrade there. You see we say amalgamation, boom. And we got no, not this one, we got one of those here. And now we can also take this one, for example, we make amalgamation, boom, and you see we got the great attribute of refinement. You kill 5 of those basically to then get the next higher level key. Same also I think goes for these guys when we have 5 of them. Same goes even for boss materials. You see we can use amalgamation to get a random I think from that boss itself, which is here in this case, I think Lord Zir. You see, we transmute, we get the X-False thingies. This is bad, we got 3 of them back to back. And what, okay, now I can show you the 3 recycle unique thingy. Transmutes 3 of the same unique equipment type. You see, okay, we got the ancestral one here, which is fine. If I would ever use this item, I would not recycle this one, but just for purpose here. Okay, also this rolled perfect and implicit. But you see, when we click transmute, it makes one new one with completely new random stats and the new implicit. So like this, you can, yeah, target farm also your uniques kind of. Right? So you want the ones that you would normally salvage, you can also use up here to recycle basically. Okay, is there something else? The amalgamation is one of the most used ones later also. I don't know. This is even working, it seems. You see, transmute. Wow. Very nice. You can use this even to, yeah, get some legendary runes. I didn't know that even. The POG I would keep, the mod I would keep, luck we have more than enough. You see, we can make a 3-to-1 transmutation here, which of course makes no sense in this case with runes, but amalgamation makes sense because we take away 5 and we get the next upgrade there. We get an ohm. So you can do this. You can also do this, I guess, with the lower ones, of course. Bam. So you get the one rare one out of the magic one. That way you can, yeah, it is a little bit random of course, but that way you can also get to your runes a little bit faster, I would say. So you see, the cube is really versatile and you want to really understand it here. Oh, we got a new one. To target farm stuff. You can target farm basically anything with it. Uniques, legendaries, as you saw, even runes and keys and so on. You can break them down to like the higher item level thing. We did this one with amalgamation randomly, and here you can even, what we did there randomly, we can target farm basically. I don't get the point of this one. I think here you make a minus 5 times of any runes, 5 times legendary runes of invocation, and okay, this is when you have too many legendary runes of some kind and you want to target one specific one. But in my opinion, this is not good. I never used it before and I think I would never use it, because what you do is you kill 5 rare runes and 5 random legendary runes to craft one of the ones that you want. That is a very wasteful thing to do. I would not recommend this. I would rather, who was it? I think the jeweler. I would rather go for the rune crafting here at the jeweler. You see, it's basically the same, but with three randoms, right? You can here use 3 to get a random other rune. I don't know, man. I would never really use this one. Maybe if you have too much of one type and then you need only one for your next craft or something, then maybe, but I would not use this here too often down there. So in this regards, the rune crafting, it is a choice that you can make, of course. It's like only from the hardcore farmers and players to use, I guess. But I would not use it, man. I would even just trade it, right? If you just need one Yule and you have so many of the other types, for example, type in chat, hey, want to trade one Yule versus one Aeom or whatnot, right? So this rune crafting down here is a huge waste, in my opinion. But you see, every other thingy here has good uses for the gear modification and even the item transmutations. And as you see, I also masterworked everything already on my gear. I'm able already to farm Torment 10 on a paladin, which is still missing a lot of paragon. Plus the gear is far away from optimized, far away. You can be way stronger than me. So, before a lot of items were instant salvage. Now, some items that are close to good may deserve a second look because the cube can give them another path. That does not mean you should hoard everything. Please don't turn your stash into a museum of emotional damage. But it does mean you should be slightly more thoughtful before deleting items that have a strong foundation. And that is probably the healthiest version of crafting. Not full random gambling, not perfect deterministic crafting, but a middle ground where smart item evaluation matters. If this video helped you out, make sure to subscribe to my channel to not miss future uploads on Diablo 4. Also share it with your Diablo 4 buddies, chances are it will also help them. Thanks for watching and good luck in Sanctuary. See you on my channel.